pray. Gracious Father, we come again thanking you for this day, and we thank you, Lord, for all your blessings. As we come, Lord, we ask that your presence would be in this room. We desire, Lord, to be good stewards and representatives of your people. Bless the city, bless our mayor, bless the council. And Lord, whatever we do here today, we pray that it will be pleasing in our sight. It's in thy name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk.
Mr. Bradford?
Present.
Mr. Everson?
Here.
Mr. Jenkins? Mr. Fortune?
Present.
Mr. Flood?
Present.
Mrs. Litt? Mr. Bowles?
Here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of this? Second. Motion by Councilman Everson, second by Councilman Bowles. Any discussion? Please vote. And that motion passes. Awards and distinguished. Chair now recognizes Councilman Bradford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have a very distinguished guest today that I want to acknowledge and have come forward. But before they do, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we suspend the rules to take up Resolution 88. Second.
Motion by Councilman Bolton, second by Councilman Bradford. Or is it backwards?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Any discussion? And please vote. That motion passes.
At this time, Mr. Chairman, if I'm in order, I would like for the clerk to read Resolution 88.
It's a resolution congratulating and honoring the Booker T. Washington High School Band on their accomplishments at the World Stride Festival in New York City and to otherwise provide with respect thereto by Councilman Willie Bradford. Whereas the Booker T. Washington Marching Band was formally invited to perform at the World Stride Heritage Festival that was held on April the 27th through the 29th in 2017 in New York, New York. And whereas Festival Selection Advisor Vicki Gladfelder said they were selected based on their abilities, we're looking to work with directors who want to go beyond the classroom walls and who want to give the students the experiential opportunities that we offer with our festivals. And whereas under the leadership of the band director, Emmanuel Hudson, approximately 48 Booker T. Washington band students and adults attended the nationally recognized festival event hosted to inspire musicians, which featured bands, orchestras, and choirs from Pennsylvania, Canada, Massachusetts, Virginia, Louisiana, and other areas of North America. And whereas Booker T. Washington High School Band traveled to New York and made a big statement by receiving the Gold Award for Marching Band, the Gold Award and first place in the Concert Band Division by scoring 93 and above in all categories in which they participated, and by receiving the Adjudicators Award. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Shreveport in due regular and legal session convened that the Shreveport City Council recognizes and commends the Booker T. Washington Marching Band under the direction of Emmanuel Hudson, Director of Bands, for their hard work and dedication and for being ambassadors for Booker T. Washington High School, the Caddo Parish School System, and the City of Shreveport. Be it further resolved that Superintendent LeVar Goree, the Caddo Parish School Board, Principal Christy Hall Young, and the faculty and staff of Booker T. Washington High School are commended for their hard work and for providing the direction and support needed for this band to become an excellent educational entity where students learn useful skills, a work ethic, and a can-do attitude that will serve them well for the rest of their lives. And it will be signed by all members of the City Council.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the resolution be adopted.
Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, let me just make a statement as order. Okay. Let me say with pride that I am a proud alumnus of Booker T. Washington High School, and I'm going to toot my own horn for just a second and say that I am the first Booker T. Washington graduate to be a member of the Shreveport City Council, and I represent the district in which Booker T. Washington sits, and I'm so proud of that. Last year we received a new principal, Ms. Christy Young. She came in with a motto that average is no longer acceptable. And through her leadership this year, Booker T. Washington has made so many strides of improvement. And it does matter who your principal is, and it does matter that leadership has a standard that will not be compromised. Ms. Young has exhibited that, as well as Mr. Hudson, who has been an excellent band director at Booker T. Washington. And they have brought some students who was on the trip. So I'm asking them to come up in just a second. So I want to move the motion, and then I want to play a short video.
Councilman Bradford, may I shout this out from the hilltop?
You may, sir.
Once a line, always a line. You left that out of there. Okay.
And I did catch that reference that you wanted to toot your own horn and thought that was appropriate.
Yeah, I thought they were too. Okay, let's vote. And that motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, if you may, a short video of that the band put together for us.
I want to hear how great you guys did, how well you were behaved. I'm going to be very proud of you, and I know that I will be. Remember what you've been taught before you even go. You all know rules, procedures, but while you're out there, have a good time. Take plenty of pictures. This is an experience for you. I don't know if you all realize what your band director has done. For you to go to a city like New York for under $400, I've never heard of such a thing. He's working hard, telling you how to secure the funds. So not only don't disappoint me, don't disappoint your band director. Y'all understand? This is a chance of a lifetime for you guys. No one did this for me in high school. We would love the opportunity. So you all go and represent us well so we can continue to grow and continue to do more in the future, okay? You all know before we go anywhere, though, we're going to have some prayer. We still pray together, okay? So Mr. Whitaker's on his way there, and we'll have prayer before you go ahead.
Hudson to come forward with their guests, the students, as well as Mr. Fred Hilson, who is the president of the Booker T. Washington Alumni Association, and represent them with the this. Mayor, would you join me down with the band?
Certainly. Congratulations.
Thank
you. Mr. Hudson, how you doing?
All right. Sean, let me present you Mr. Hudson with this token of our appreciation for your work, and especially for the excellence that you have brought to Booker T. Washington, as well as the band in Washington, representing not only Booker T. Washington, but the city of Shreveport. Thank you and congratulations on your accomplishment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
40 years.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you all.
Thank you.
I tell someone my Hudson, I say hello.
Well, greetings to our mayor and all members of the council. I just want to take a moment to say thank you. So often we see our young people recognized for all the things that are wrong. So I want to thank you all for recognizing what they've done right. I am so proud as the principal of my band, our young people who work hard every day, our band director who instills so much in our students, and to everyone who helped make this dream a reality. As stated, my motto is average is over and the best is yet to come. This is just one of many trips for our students. Thank you again.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to personally thank the city of Shreveport for basically stepping up. I had my doubts at first, but with Councilman Willie Bradford and also the chairman, James Fleury, he also donated towards our trip to help make it possible, as well as other politicians and pastors around the Shreveport area. I just want to personally thank you, because our goal was 50,000. We went past our goal. The support system in Shreveport is strong, very strong. I just want to thank the city of Shreveport, and the students enjoyed the trip, and they brought back some great awards. I just want to thank you for letting them experience the opportunity. Thank you. Okay, the trophy is the Adjudicators Award. We received this award for scoring 93 and above in all the categories we competed in. The next award is a Gold Award for concert band. Our concert band division, we won first place, and also the Gold Award. And we also received the Gold Award for marching band at the World Strides Heritage Festival. And it's all because of the city of Shreveport support system.
Let me say, definitely it's a pleasure to be here to say thank you, because it was without your support, and especially one thing, without the principal stepping forward and allowing this to happen, all right, it's saying a lot in itself. And I want to applaud Mr. Bradford and other alumnus of BTW, because the BTW alumni really stepped up in making sure this trip was to happen, and others who stepped forward and supported, because it was a fantastic opportunity for our kids to experience such an event as this and perform at a level that would make all of us proud. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Vice Chairman, I recognize Ms. Stephanie Lynch.
Oh, y'all don't go so fast.
Wait a
Don't
minute.
move so
Hold.
fast. Don't y'all. We have something to say to y'all. I want to certainly extend my congratulations as well to you all on your significant achievement. Now, we got some other folks in New York this week, I think. That, you know, we spent a whole lot of time in meetings talking about whether they should go to New York and whether they shouldn't go to New York. So I am especially pleased that you all had an opportunity to go to New York, the Big Apple. I think I was probably maybe in my 30s the first time I got to go to New York. So, I mean, it is great that these young people got to experience that, you know, at their age and their formative years. And so, like you said, you hope that this is one of many trips. We hope some scholarships, college scholarships, come from out of these endeavors, and they can continue and further their education. Kudos to, you know, the principal, band director, the alumni. You know, y'all keep making us proud. Just keep making us proud. Keep doing good. Did y'all kids, either one of y'all want to say anything? We want to hear something from you. Come on.
I'm Jemiah Williams.
Speak into your
I'm Jemiah Williams. I'm a sophomore at Booker T. Washington High School, and I just want to thank everybody who donated and gave that make this dream come true.
Good.
My name is Brent Ashley. I'm a sophomore, soon to be junior at Booker T. Washington. I want to thank everybody that contributed to helping us get to New York. This is the experience of a lifetime, and I pray that y'all can help us get to many more places. Thank you.
All right.
My name is Brendan Baker. I'm a freshman at Booker T. Washington, and I just want to thank God for letting us go to New York.
All right. Let me tell y'all big time, because I went to the Natchitoches Christmas parade and I thought I had really gone somewhere. I was y'all age, so thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Young, she has the resolution ready now.
All right.
Well, thank you again for coming, and we'll see you all before
Can I
the
ask
end of
a
the week.
quick question? Just what was y'all's favorite part? Do y'all have something that was the best memory of it? Or, I mean, 'cause sometimes I think the most important part of traveling, particularly when you're young, is, it kind of changes your perspective. Lets you see things you didn't know about, gives you new ideas and things like that. Did y'all have a favorite memory or favorite experience?
There was a lot of different things. It's a way bigger and better experience than being in a small town like Shreveport, but it's still it's a big place, but it's still.
It's a city, but compared to New York City,
But
it's
the
like
price.
a small town.
I really like the whole trip, but the thing is, I like being. This is home, and there's no place like home because the prices and all the people.
Well, that's what I mean by perspective, too. That makes you appreciate home.
Yes. My favorite part was being on a cruise, on a dinner cruise that we went on the last night we was there. I met a lot of different people, a lot of different ethnicities and things, spoke different languages and things of that nature. And, I don't think I want to move out there because one bedroom, that's like 15,000, no.
Okay.
My favorite part was going to see the Statue of Liberty.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I just want to say congratulations to you all. I can't go back over anything that's been said by the previous council. I just to see young people to move and especially going on a trip to New York. I hadn't been to New York yet, and I'm the youngest person sitting up here next to Jeff.
I haven't been to New York either, and I am the youngest. Sure, that's right. Mayor.
I just want to say publicly congratulations again. I did congratulate each of you, and I want to say to our young people, we are so very proud of the fact that you are leading the way. You're setting good examples for other young people your age by doing and being the best. I want to say congratulations to our principal. I know what it's like to be a principal, and I know that it's hard work every single day, but obviously you care about your kids and you have those standards set, and they will meet those standards if you keep them. And our band director, Mr. Hudson, you know both your parents, was just so proud of what you're doing to help our young people and impact their lives. So congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Henson, for being the president of the alumni chapter. Foundation. Okay, because I'm about to say you have I think you have two different chapters over there, but thank you for what you're doing to keep the legacy alive. Congratulations again.
Thank you all. Mr. Chairman, while I have the floor, let me say that I also have another distinct honor of announcing, for those who didn't know, I had a graduate of Green Oaks High School, as well as LSU University, who graduated this year and was chosen in the NFL draft. Tre'Davious White, he was picked at the first round, number 27 by the Buffalo Bills. When he comes to town after rookie camp, I'm going to have him come down and we can recognize him as well. So great things are happening in District 8. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other council member have anything they'd like to be recognized?
I was just going to see, Doc, did you want to come up, or were you waiting to be recognized? Oh, Patron, hold on. I thought you might be here for Crawfish with Clergy. We have a. Did you want to come say a word? I'd love. Go ahead. Come on. Let us know. It's a great event.
Oh, okay.
And I appreciate him doing this on short notice. I noticed I'm here obviously for another reason, but when you have citizens like this who are involved in so many good things, we'll let you, the mayor will recognize you for what she had you here for. But I did want to invite you because I know you've been a big part in Crawfish with Clergy, and it's a wonderful event. It is in my district, so I'd love if you could just share a little bit about the Crawfish with Clergy.
Oh, okay. This is our 4th anniversary, and as you know, Hope Connection is the umbrella agency through HUD. You know, if like Providence House or Volunteers of America want funds, they have to go through the continuum, and we don't compete with them for any services and things of that nature. But this is our only fundraiser, so we'd appreciate any support that you would give us, and this is our appreciation to the churches for working so closely with us. Thank you.
By the way, and
maybe want to add, we get the second most money from HUD of any city in the state. You know, we get more than Baton Rouge. So,
hey, Doc, one thing in the future, you know, there's room for you to have your own picture on here too. Just
we only wanted.
Random, there's always room for a second picture.
We only wanted pictures that would help sell tickets.
Thank you. You should have put Willie on here then.
Any other councilman? At this time, I'd like to recognize the Honorable Charles R. Hennington, tax assessor for Caddo Parish, to come to the mic. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
We'd like to give you an opportunity, if you would, to visit with us today concerning the millage valuations.
Okay. Y'all, I believe y'all have an ordinance to roll forward your millage this year.
Right.
What can I answer any kind of questions for that?
Any council member at this time? I want to give the opportunity first.
I'm happy to start. So, obviously, we got I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I believe you send in May or June a proposed assessment or valuation of the properties in the city, and then based on that, somebody at the state level or assessor then sends us a letter and says, hey, if that's the valuation of the properties in the city of Shreveport, your millages should be set at such and such a number.
Yes, every 4 years we have a revaluation. So 2016 was that year. It's a very unusual year because we sent y'all, we look at what we have on the tax roll in 2015. So all the property is, real estate property is valued as 1/1/15. We use all of the personal property information for that year, public service information for that year. Real estate is revalued using a new set of tables for that year, but it's for 16, but it's valued as of the year before. We use personal property information, but we have to apply the new depreciation schedule to it. So personal property to start with starts off at a 2 to 3% drop in value because every year it gets a little older, so the values are down a little bit. Public service, we don't have values until really the end of August, September 1. They changed slightly. They went up. I'm talking about just a minute amount. In the end, everything else went down slightly. But the information we gave the legislative auditor showed that we would have an increase a little bit, and they lowered your millage rate.
Okay.
And in the end, you had a decrease in value after taxpayers come in during the summer. We finished working all of our personal property accounts. You do have a little bit of oil and gas and public service, and the values went down. That has only happened one other time in 1979 that I know of. That's as far as 1989. That's as far as back as I could find it. Every other year, you've always had an increase after revaluation because you add on all the new build and things like that. But last year, it didn't happen.
Okay, so y'all send a I believe, but am I correct, is it May or June?
Yeah, we'll send that in June, and we send you the information that here's what your millage rate should be. And in y'all's case, it went down a little bit. And you have room this year to increase it slightly to recoup some of that tax money that wasn't collected last year.
Okay. And I guess the second part of that is when you, I guess, revise your numbers, and maybe that's the wrong
Well, when we finish, we finalize the tax roll, yes.
When you finalize the tax roll, is there not an opportunity, and this is maybe a question for the attorneys, to send us the revised number and us then subsequently change the ordinance in time before we start collecting?
In y'all's case, no, because it would have been a roll forward and it had to have been advertised before July 15th.
It wouldn't have, last year would not have been a roll forward. It would have been
No, last year it would have been a roll forward. If you would have increased a little bit. Because like this year's a roll forward, last year's would have been a roll forward also.
No, because last year what happened is we reduced.
That's correct.
But we wouldn't have even needed to, well, I mean, I guess we could have debated whether we were going to roll forward.
Right.
But had we had those updated numbers, we could have certainly stayed at the status quo, right?
I would have to look at the sheet I send y'all. There's 3 pieces of information. What it has to go down to receive the same amount of taxes based on that valuation. The next one is an adjusted millage, and then the next one is the max millage you can go to. And without that information in front of me, I couldn't tell you. But the numbers are the same last year, this year for millages. So if this year is a roll forward for y'all, last year would have been a roll forward also.
Okay.
It's in the legislative auditor's eyes.
I got you. But I mean, what we did is because we thought it was higher, we rolled back.
That's correct.
Now, I guess had we known prior to whatever date, I don't know when we sent
Well,
it
if
out.
I'd have known, if the millage wouldn't have changed, it would have at least stayed the same or increased slightly.
Okay, but I guess as far as enacting additional millage, I mean additional ordinance that says we're choosing to roll forward, there's no requirement to enact legislation if it is staying the same, other than the levying of the taxes to begin with, right?
Like I said, without seeing that sheet, I can't make a comment on it. Because if you roll them forward this year, it's the same millages. It would have been a roll forward last year. Now, if we'd have known the ending outcome before I asked the auditor to set that, then the millages would have looked totally different, and it would have gone up to bring in the same amount of money.
Gotcha. And then let's call it 545, let's call it $500,000 because there's a little bit. That $500,000 translated to, I'm going to say somewhere in the $35 to $40 million of property valuation difference.
Could be.
35. Is that number? I'm trying to remember.
35 over what the original estimate was.
About $35 million?
Yes, sir.
$35 million. Now, that to somebody that doesn't do this every day, and I know you're very well versed in this and have been doing it a long time, that seems like a big change.
It is a lot. But we had, after we set the values, we had a number of commercial property. We had public service, personal property decrease. We have no control over personal property because the businesses send in that information. We take it at face value. If you have a business and you send the information, here's the equipment I have, here's the inventory I have, we apply the rates to it, and that's it. And the only thing I can tell you is we did not have an increase like we normally have in normal years. Last year was an odd year.
And on the equipment, does everybody do their own depreciation schedule, or do you
No, they send us in the information. Say you have a computer at your office. You send me that I have a computer. Here's how much I paid for it. Here's the year I purchased it. And then our office applies a depreciation schedule. And we tell you how much it's worth.
Gotcha.
The inventory decreased a little bit. We normally at least flat or a small increase in inventory, but over the last couple of years, it's decreased. A lot of it's fueled by the legislature can't decide what to do with the inventory tax. Right now, parish and city collect inventory tax and then is reimbursed by the state. The talk is wanting to get rid of the inventory tax, but if they get rid of it, what happens to y'all's taxes from it, and what happens to the parish? What?
$9 million.
It's a lot.
It's
24, 25 million for the parish in schools and things like
But
that.
that's not on ad valorem tax, right? That's that's a separate.
It's ad valorem.
Oh, it rolls under ad valorem
Yes.
tax, inventory tax.
So if that goes away, we're going to have a lot of problems, a lot more problems. Other states have the tax also. We're not the only state that has it. Texas has it.
And our problem is a little bit on a budgetary constraint is that it's kind of a double whammy right now for us because we're not only 500 below what we
estimated
for our year end of 2016.
Correct.
And our 2017 budget is also 500 in terms of revenues, 500 in excess. So
because we don't know where our tax roll is going to be this year yet. We won't know that till the fall. We hope have increased over the year with new builds and more equipment being purchased and things like that. But we won't know till later in the year.
Yeah, but our normal methodology is to use what we had
used last year.
That's
correct.
In this case, we're already $1 million behind. So, okay.
What will the increased millages bring in? Do you know?
I think
$587,000.
So about what you're missing there.
About what we lost
90%
last
or
year.
something.
But that's what we'll lose this year.
Right.
The increase would just get us back to
where you
but
were.
We'll never recover what we ended up giving up last year. That's $500,000 that we'll never see again.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you'll have increase. Also, we have a company we use that does our aerials. It's called Change Finder. It's pictometry, and they're looking at all the houses in real estate throughout the parish and the city to see if there's been increases in size, remodels, things like that maybe they didn't take a permit out on, and we pick up value from that also. We'll be doing that over the next couple of years.
Gotcha. And then as far as when we bring in new properties into the city,
yes,
some part of that process includes you all so that you know that
Are you talking for annexations or
annexations.
permits? Yeah. Well, if it has not been built on, we'll get a permit on it, but we'll revalue the property maybe as instead of agriculture into a subdivision maybe, or I'm not sure what kind of annexation. I see y'all have one on the
and
docket.
we probably have some type of dedication. I mean, almost every one or every once a month, maybe?
I guess at least once a month because I sign them almost every other.
Okay, so you're seeing the reason I ask on the frequency of that, when we went to do the latest round of redistricting, we recognized that 10% of Southeast Shreveport was not included into what Gary Joyner was using for redistricting numbers.
Okay.
But that was from a different source than the way you get your source. So I wanted to make sure that was also taken.
Also, we keep up with the subdivisions that are being recorded. And we've noticed over the last couple of years we don't have very many large subdivisions. There's not a whole lot of building development going on like there was a few years ago. We might have 2 or 3 subdivisions, like 12 Oaks, or maybe part of some stuff up and down Norris Ferry or something like that, where you may pick up 20, 30 60, 100 lots maybe like that. And we're not seeing that over the last couple of years. We're seeing smaller 15 and 20, 25 lots. So that tells me that building is slowing down, and that's a lot of what's happening. Whereas normally we may pick up 50, 60, or 100 houses in a year. We're not seeing that from that. Now, people still building. That's a given, but it's not like it was.
But it's not overcoming the 2 to 3% overall that's depreciating year in, year out.
It did not.
Okay, thank you. That's my questions.
Yep.
I appreciate you being here. This is certainly helpful information.
Very welcome. Call me anytime.
If I heard your comments right, the decrease in revenue that we saw was really a combination of property values being lower, the inventory that people reported.
Well, a lot of it's just the real estate was flat. Houses are still moving, but they're moving very slow. Your upper end houses, the values came down some. The lower end houses didn't go up enough to compensate for it. Personal property went down.
Because we have received some information, I guess internally, that a lot of this was just based on oil and gas properties.
Well, for the parish it was, but not for the city of Shreveport. Y'all have a small amount, mostly some pipelines.
Like $4 million of assessed oil and gas. It was totally. I think we got a little confused on that number when it came to us.
Right, and when I talked to the parish about it, theirs was oil and gas related, and that was correct, but it has nothing to do with the city of Shreveport.
Can I ask one more? Because now I remember the other one. DDA.
Who?
DDA.
DDA, okay.
So, obviously, they don't have oil and gas properties. So, that number is not,
No, that's going to be mostly personal property.
So,
and
they
real
had
estate.
a significant reduction as well. Now,
I would think most of that would probably be personal property from businesses not locating downtown. Also, it would be public service. They have a lot of public service. Railroads, telephone companies downtown. A lot of the underground cabling is the telephone companies.
Yeah, and remember the Caddo went up about several $1,000s. It's the Bossier Parish.
Oh, it's the Bossier
Right.
Parish.
You got to deal with both parishes for the DDA.
So that was the discussion about the casino.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes.
El Dorado.
Okay, sorry.
It'd be nice if you had just one thing to look at, but it's not like that sometimes.
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Mayor Tyler.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman and the members of the council. Today, we have several announcements. We want to ask Chief Crump if he'll come forward to make a presentation to two of our outstanding officers, Shreveport's finest police officers who received recognition recently from the Office of the State Marshal, Corporal Brian Michael and Corporal Ronald Moore. Will you please come forward? These gentlemen went to South Louisiana to assist their first responders during the flood event. We want to publicly thank them and tell them how much we really appreciate their efforts and their service to the people of the state of Louisiana. Now, this is Corporal Michael.
Ronald Moore.
Ronald Moore. Okay. Congratulations.
Corporal Brian Michael was here, but I saw him walk out. I don't know if he had to. Y'all want to come? Is he coming
Get it.
Okay.
Okay.
He's saving somebody else right now. Just
All right.
To the mayor and council, I just wanted to do this publicly for two of our wonderful officers that work at Lake Patrol. And so when we had floods down south in 2016, these two gentlemen volunteered to go down and assist. And while they were there, I maintained contact with Corporal Michael to try to make certain everything was all right and they were being provided with those things that they needed. And we stayed in communication, but they went down and did an excellent job to assist those down there. And I just wanted, instead of calling them up to the office, wanted to bring them down and recognize them publicly for their efforts in going down south and helping with the flood. And so there is each one of them received a reward. I'll read this letter from the State Office of the State Fire Marshal. It's written to both of them, but I'll just read one. And it says, Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections, Public Safety Service, Office of State Fire Marshal, April 4th, 2017. Not for ourselves alone are we born. Marcus Tullius Cicero, Roman philosopher and statesman. It is true that leaders are not born with an innate ability to lead. Instead, they are forged out of the exacting furnace of sacrificial service that in turn results in the making of a tempered, devoted person, one on whom others can depend when called upon to serve. Although Louisiana and her people have experienced more than its share of natural and man-made disasters throughout our history, none genuinely exemplified the heeding of a call to serve more than the 2016 August flood event, which ravaged the lives of thousands of Louisianians. After reviewing and assessing the success of your selfless actions conducted during such catastrophic event, I remain amazed and am proud to honor those who responded and accomplished what leaders do by willingly embracing the responsibility of service and doing the right thing on behalf of others. Truly, you epitomize Cicero's words. Cicero's. Yes, Cicero's words. Thank you very much.
He's from Abbeville. You'll see him.
Not in the Bible. Therefore, on behalf of Governor John Bell Edwards and the Office of State Fire Marshal, we're pleased to please accept the enclosed certificate and commemorative pin as a token of appreciation for your service in the 2016 August flood event. And a certificate along with this letter is presented to Corporal Brian Michael. Also to Corporal Ronald Moore.
I'm not sure. I just want to say one thing that was very nice. I don't know the right adjective to use, but fire department and the police department work together closely every day. But this was it was a very good experience for us to go down and help people. I know we felt like we were really public servants. We helped a lot of people. We had cats, dogs, kids, young people, old people. I think the fire department even saved somebody's pet pig. So, out of their house apparently. But I really wish that we could do more things like this, where the fire department and the police department can work in conjunction with each other. I know that Corporal Moore here and I got to know a lot of fire department guys in a way we never would have got to know before. We were out on boats, running all night shifts, getting people, and it was coordinated very well. We had an officer on a boat with fire department. They had skills, we had skills, and together it was a very good team effort. And anytime in the future when we can get the fire department and police department to work closely like that, especially in an effort like this, it's a really, really good thing for the city and for all the people.
Kind of piggyback off what he said, Madam Mayor, Councilman. Just want to thank fire along with police, allowing us the privilege to go down and help the people of Baton Rouge and Gonzales, because it is a privilege to be a servant. And actually doing that part with fire, I truly got to appreciate what they do. It's a different avenue than what we do, but it's a benefit. It's a benefit. And kind of piggyback off what Michael said, I know when you start to come to stuff like this, it's all about where you get the money from, where's the money going to come from. But it would truly benefit Shreveport's Marine Patrol to find the monies or come up with the monies or grant monies to, you know, help us step our game up to help fire in these same situations. Because, hey, we're in Louisiana, it's going to flood.
Next announcement, Mr. Chairman. This weekend, we have our 25th annual Paint Your Heart Out event. I'd like to have our coordinator, Mrs. Marsha Nelson, with Community Development, to come forward at this time and share what we are in store for this weekend for Paint Your Heart Out Shreveport 2017. And I think she'll bring up probably the co-chair. But Ms. Nelson?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is going to be a magnificent weekend this weekend with 50 lucky, blessed, and happy homeowners and over 1,300 volunteers that we're dealing with this year. And over half of our paint teams come from Barksdale Air Force Base, and that has been for the last 10 years. And so we are so excited. It's such a privilege for me to be the coordinator of a program that's lasted for 25 years. A lot of things don't last 25 years, and I'm happy to say that Paint Your Heart Out has. I have my co-chairperson, Mr. Doc Voorhees, here, and I certainly couldn't do it without him, and our chairperson, David Aubrey, and our awesome steering committee that meets once each month to plan and share ideas to make this program a continued success.
Thank you.
He doesn't want to say anything. Anyway, I hope that you all can join us for the appreciation party that we have for the volunteers, homeowners, and sponsors this Saturday in the Red River District, beginning at 5:30. There will be free food and entertainment for all.
Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for chairing. Thank you so much for helping those seniors who really, really need the help. We appreciate you. Okay. Our next announcement, Mr. Chairman, many of you know that GLOW has been in the news recently. However, I'm glad to say that GLOW has continued their flights without interruptions. At our last meeting, I mentioned that GLOW had sought reorganization as a means to better its strong and rapidly growing customer base with high-quality service. They continue to provide 2 flights Monday through Friday from Shreveport to New Orleans and back, and 1 flight a day on Saturdays and Sundays. And I thought I needed to just say that publicly so that people will know that GLOW is still flying out of Shreveport to New Orleans. Next, the City of Shreveport partnered with Bike Shreveport last month to bring awareness to the first phase of bike paths to be implemented by the city this summer. Bike Shreveport held its April Slow Roll Ride, and some of you know what that is if you ride a bike, along the route of the new bike pilot paths on Crestwell, Gilbert, and Ockley Streets. Mr. Crawford, our own CAO, joined the bicyclists on that ride that day. And Art Thompson also. Okay, I didn't know that Mr. Thompson was a biker. Our bike community is really enthusiastic about the bike pilot. So
It was a slow ride.
It was a slow ride. Okay, that's what it's called.
But not due to Art. Art was the pace setter. He was keeping it quick.
Okay, all right.
Tell him to slow down.
I want to also say that we continue to serve our citizens with numerous events. And since we last met, we've had a lot of events that have occurred, but some of those, Yazzie at Riverview Theater, a Live After 5 Cinco de Mayo event in the Red River District, swimming pool open house at Quirby's Park, and the list goes on. But we have a lot of great things for families here in our city. Those are the announcements, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much.
Can I?
Yes, you can.
Reminds me of Paint Your Heart Out. Can we have an updated list for homes for the districts? Bonnie or somebody from
we can get that. Is Marsha still here? Mr. Vital? Ms. Vital, will you?
But on Thursday or something, because invariably they change at the last minute, and then Good.
What was the question?
Yes, if we could have an updated list of the houses for Paint Your Heart Out on Thursday or Friday, whenever that list is final.
If we do have the list, we can get that to you. I don't have it with me, but I can get
Okay,
it to you.
no, that's okay. I got one last week, but invariably what happens is there's some changes between last week and the day of, and I'm hoping for an updated one this year.
We'll email you one in a minute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Viton.
Thank you.
Brings us to reports. Anybody have concerns, questions for property standards? Mr. Green, seeing none, thank you very much for your service. Mr. Crawford has given the revenue collection, and Mr. Bradford has furnished the surety bond forfeitures report, and Mr. Sweeney is in Big Apple.
New York City.
NYC.
They're probably watching the meeting live.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark's going to send us all a card. There's no public hearing today. Let's move on to adding items.
There is a public hearing today.
Mr. Chairman, we have a public hearing, ordinance number 46.
All right, it says right here, you got to be wrong. Surely I'm not wrong.
My apologies, Mr. Chairman. I prepared this script.
Mr. Chairman, are you ready for the public hearing?
Yes, we are.
It's tag number 17-01, enlarging the limits and boundaries of the city of Shreveport for the Silver Point at Lakeside Unit Number 1 development. And if you'll open the public hearing, I assume that the administration has a presentation.
Malcolm. Motion that, the public hearing now.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. I'm Malcolm Statlander with the City Engineer's Office. This public hearing is regarding tag number 1701, annexation, and it concerns 29.847 acres of land in Section 27, Township 16 North, Range 13 West, Caddo Parish, Louisiana. And it's known as the Silver Point at Lakeside Unit Number 1 development. It's contiguous to the city limits of Shreveport and lies southeast of the Lakeside on Long Lake Unit Number 3 subdivision. The proposed annexation is adjacent to the existing city limits. The developer plans to subdivide this area into 36 residential lots with approximately 2,400 linear feet of public streets. The estimated value of the residential properties will be $850,000 per unit. Installation of all water and sewer lines, storm drains, and public streets will be the responsibility of the developer. A public notice ran on March 9th, 2017, and there were no objections formally filed by the public concerning this annexation. All of the north side of the proposed annexation is adjacent to the existing city limits. The city received petitions by Sunflower Productions, LLC, Moon Realty, LLC, and Silver Point, LLC, the property owners, requesting this annexation.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Layton,
Yes, sir.
I remember last year there was an issue with a flooding problem on the backside of Long Lake. Is this adjacent to that property that we had an issue with? Do you recall that situation?
I do recall the
It's not adjacent.
the
It's not
flooding
adjacent.
issue. I don't think that this area is adjacent to that. It is
No.
not adjacent to that,
Okay.
according to the city engineer.
So, from your understanding of the developer, that this area would not be at risk of flooding?
Correct. It's not been an issue.
And I might just note that although there was some water issues, it was not flooding as in the lake came up and those lots went underwater. It was some flooding associated with new construction in the area.
On the other side.
And runoff from the new
Yeah, runoff from
construction
that new
without
construction.
any.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we may want to find out if there's anybody in the audience who wants to speak for or against this.
And is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of adding this ordinance 46? Anybody here to like to speak in opposition to ordinance number 46? The chair seeing none and call for discussion. Close. You got to close. Motion to close. Close. Okay. Now, do we have a motion to?
We take it up later.
Yeah, come up. Take it up later. Take it later. Okay.
Can I add just one thing, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
In the past, we used to have a financial sheet associated with this. Is it down on the, I couldn't find it, but to be honest, now that I say that, it may be down on the ordinance.
I didn't see it. And I saw a plat and the
And I
ordinance
saw
and fact
the
sheet.
fact
It's
sheet.
not on the fact sheet.
But in the past, and I'm not saying I need it for this one, but I do like having that sheet for whoever puts that together.
Should have been attached. I'll see if we can get it to you, Council.
Just in the future, just so that we have that, because that is essentially what we're.
I know that just from a property tax standpoint, if they sell all of those lots for $850,000 with a home, it's approximately $100,000 a year in property taxes alone.
You have it, Malcolm.
Oh, all combined.
Yeah, all combined.
Gotcha. I was like,
We can send that to you.
We'll send it to you later.
but I know we have
Usually
historically.
attached. Sorry. Yeah, we'll get it to you before the end of the meeting. Just send it to me now.
That's good. All right. Adding legislation to Ms. Thompson, is it to be added today?
Mr. Chairman, we have several items that can be added to the agenda. One is Resolution 89. It suspends provisions of Chapter 10 and Chapter 106 of the Code relative to the sale, dispensing, and consumption of alcoholic beverages at 1401 Fairfield Avenue for the annual Bears Feast. Do you want me to go over all of them? And then the second one is Resolution number 90. Pursuant to L.A., Louisiana Revised Statute 382212B 2-3A, that extends the time delay for the low bidder of the project construction of taxiway N extension to submit its Buy America Act documentation as required by the Federal Aviation Administration. And if there are questions, the city attorney can answer those. And Ordinance 55, amending the 2017 Street Special Revenue Fund budget, appropriating funds authorized therein and otherwise providing with respect thereto. I believe that the council has already appropriated money for asphalt overlay, and this will be transferring those funds from the Street Special Revenue Fund to the Capital Project Fund so that those projects can be completed.
Hey, is there anyone who is present who would like to speak in opposition to adding these resolutions to the agenda? Is there anyone present who would like to speak in favor of adding these resolutions to the agenda?
I just have a quick question on ordinance 55. Because I kind of, Mr. Crawford.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so ordinance 55, because I heard about a joke that was made about my streets. Y'all not moving nothing around with this, right?
No, this is carrying out the council's wishes from the previous ordinance adopted and actually just moves the money from streets. And then there's also an amendment in ordinance 50, which puts it in a capital project to get on those streets as soon as possible.
And to further clarify, you're talking about the funding for your streets. The funding for your streets are still there from the previous council, and it's been approved, so we can go ahead and do the streets for the citizens in your district.
Right, and as we've been continuing to keep people informed, and I mean, it doesn't take rocket science. You can drive through District F, and there's a lot of consent decree work going on, the gas company is in there doing a lot of upgrades. The telephone company is in there doing a lot of upgrades, and so some of the street projects that have already been identified, I'm just waiting on them to get all of that in the ground.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
Put the dirt back, folks' driveways and sidewalks. And
absolutely.
Then we can address, some of the streets. I'm patiently waiting, but I want them to hurry up. So so we can get started on some of them. So it's not a matter of that. It's just a matter of when at this point until some of those projects and that equipment and all of that is out. So I don't want nobody to be looking at my money. So thank you.
Yes, Chairman.
Yes.
If you ask the questions properly, then I would like to move that these items will be added to the agenda.
Second. Okay. Motion by Councilman Bradford, second by Councilman Jenkins. Any discussion? Please vote. And motion passed.
I think we're under the public comments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. You got any public comment?
Yes. Mr. Kenneth Krepp, I'd like to speak on ordinance number 40 and 42.
Good afternoon.
Bonsoir. Kenneth Kraft, 157 Archer Avenue, 71105. Ordinance 40 and 42 do have a public hearing in 2 weeks, so this is a little bit early. But I just want to say y'all are headed in the right direction. My question would be, these two sum to 35.45 mils. It's probably for Charles Madden, not Hennington, but are there any others coming? I don't think so. These two are going to be the only two, right? As far as I know. And Mr. Chairman, can I have 20 more seconds instead of waiting to the end for some quick ones? The Broadmoor Neighborhood Association invites people to its meeting tonight at 6 o'clock at the Presbyterian Church Gym. Thank y'all. I should have said it 2 weeks ago for putting that sign up so fast on Ninth Street. No left turn, leaving the Y. Infrastructure Committee meeting, good show yesterday, making some real progress. And I thought you should get the lion's share of the capital money, but you don't, even though you're a lion for some reason. And maybe in 2 weeks we can have the Bird Girls state champion track team up here. That would be nice. In 3 weeks without a cigarette for the wife.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for that.
7 items. I know we already took up number 88, but Sammy Mears had wanted to speak on it. If y'all don't mind, I wanted to let Sammy come up and speak on 88.
88 what? Oh.
Sitting here, 1901 Centenary Boulevard, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71101. I'd like to also congratulate Booker T. Washington band on their victory wins at the World Strides Festival in New York City as well. I've seen the video 12 times today, and after watching it 12 times when I was here, it was really cool, and it was worth it. I never did go to Booker T. Washington, but I did want to say that I knew that there was going to be a win that would happen, and I do want to show my appreciation just by complimenting them on their win. When I saw the trophy and the plaques, they were really something else. They were very special. I was always told also, say something nice or don't say anything at all. In other words, say something good or just zip your lip, as I was always told. And of course, when I heard that the lady said on the video 12 times going to New York under $400 or $400, that's something she said she had never heard. I don't know that anyone had ever heard of that. But I'm going to tell you something. If I got to go to New Jersey and meet Jim Kramer under $400, it'd be worth it.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, there's no executive performance to be considered for confirmation, Mr.
Public comments on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
On the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I think we're under the consent agenda legislation. There are two items to be adopted. One is Resolution 83, authorizing Plum Orchard Properties, LLC, located at 267 and 269 East Florinor Lucas Road to connect to the water and sewer system. And the one that was added, Resolution 89, suspending provisions of Chapter 10 and Chapter 106 of the Code relative to the sale, dispensing, and consumption of alcoholic beverages at 1401 Fairfield Avenue for the annual Bears Fest.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second. Motion by Councilman Corbin, second by Councilman Bratton. Any discussion? Please vote. And that motion carries.
Under regular agenda legislation, there is one item, Resolution 82, authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the Caddo-Bossier Port Commission, the parish of Caddo, and the city of Shreveport, and otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Second. All right, I have a motion by Councilman Bradford, second by Councilman Everson. Any discussion? Please vote.
Resolution 88 was it?
And that motion passes.
Resolution 88 was adopted earlier. Introduction of resolutions. Resolution 84 authorizes the mayor to execute a donation agreement between the city and Norris Ferry Road, LLC, for the private water and sewer improvements at St. Charles Place Subdivision, Unit 14. Resolution 85 authorizes the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the city and participating high schools through their governing bodies relative to the Battle on the Border 2018 High School Football Showcase and the use of city personnel, property, and equipment, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. Resolution 86 approves the budget for the Caddo Shreveport Sales and Use Tax Commission for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2017. Resolution 87 finds and determines that a public hearing has been held and that no petition has been filed objecting to the proposed issuance by the city of Shreveport of its water and sewer revenue bonds in an amount not to exceed $120 million, authorizing the officials of said city to proceed with the preparation of the documents required for the issuance of such bonds and providing for other matters in connection therewith. And there was one matter that was added, Resolution 90, a resolution pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 38-2212B 2-3A that extends the time delay for the low bidder of the project construction of taxiway and extension to submit its Buy America Act documentation as required by the Federal Aviation Administration.
Move for introduction, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Motion by Councilman Bradford, second by Councilman Jenkins. Any discussion? Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Councilman Jenkins. Please vote. And that motion, those motions pass.
We have several ordinances on introduction. Ordinance number 50 amends the 2017 capital improvements budget. Ordinance 51 is a series ordinance pursuant to the 2016 general revenue bond ordinance authorizing the issuance of not exceeding $100 million of water and sewer revenue bonds, Series 2017A, and water and sewer revenue bonds, Junior Lien Series 2017B of the City of Shreveport, State of Louisiana, as provided in the notice of intent given by Resolution Number 38 of 2017, adopted on March 14, 2017, establishing certain details of such bonds as required by the 2016 General Revenue Bond Ordinance, approving and confirming the sale of such bonds to a group of underwriters led by the Sherbert Cisnos Shake and Company, LLC, pledging the net revenues of the city's combined water and sewer system to secure such bonds, prescribing the form and certain terms and conditions of said bonds, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Ordinance 52 is a series ordinance pursuant to the 2016 General Revenue Bond Ordinance, authorizing the issuance of not exceeding $50 million of water and sewer revenue refunding bonds, Series 2017C of the City of Shreveport, State of Louisiana, for the purpose of refunding the city's obligation under a loan agreement relating to the issuance of Louisiana Environmental Facilities and Community Development Authority revenue refunding bonds of the Shreveport Utility System Project, Series 2005, establishing certain details of the 2017 C bonds as required by the 2016 General Revenue Bond Ordinance, approving and confirming the sale of such bonds to Capital One Public Funding, LLC, pledging the net revenues of the city's combined water and sewer system to secure the 2017 C bonds, prescribing the form and certain terms and conditions of said bonds, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Ordinance 53 is a series ordinance pursuant to the General Bond Ordinance authorizing the issuance of not exceeding $20 million principal amount of taxable water and sewer revenue bonds, Junior Lien Series 2017D of the City of Shreveport, State of Louisiana, as provided in a notice of intent given by Resolution Number 38 of 2017, adopted on March 14, 2017, establishing certain details of such bonds as required by the General Bond Ordinance, approving and confirming the sale of such bonds to the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, pledging the net proceeds of the city's combined water and sewer system to secure such bonds, prescribing the form and certain terms and conditions of said bonds, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. Ordinance 54 amends the 2017 budget for the general fund, and the add-on Ordinance 55 amends the 2017 Street Special Revenue Fund budget, appropriating the funds authorized therein and otherwise providing with respect thereto.
Moved and introduced.
Discussion, please vote. And motion passed.
But there's some questions or something I couldn't hear. I was like,
Mr.
You
Chairman,
have such small ears.
can't hear very well.
Mr. Chairman, ordinance number 40, ordinance 41, ordinance 42, and ordinance 43. Okay. Ordinance 40 levies a tax of 18 and 16/100ths mills per dollar on all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the city of Shreveport, Louisiana, for the year 2017 for the purpose of paying principal and interest on the outstanding general obligation bonds of the city of Shreveport. Mr. Chairman, this matter needs to be postponed.
So moved.
Councilwoman Leach, second by Councilman Jerry Bowman Jr. Any
I
discussion?
had a request to speak.
Oh,
on
I'm
this,
so sorry.
If it's appropriate.
My assistants here ain't helping me.
And I don't want to hold up the vote. I certainly support the motion, but I just wanted to ask, on these type of things where we know that it's not going to be voted on the next time, is there not, why does it always show up on ordinances on second reading and final passage if we know that it requires 3 readings? That there's not a different way to note that on the agenda?
Now, we don't have any other place to put it on the agenda unless we put it under tabled. And the agenda, the items on the agenda or the categories are set in the rules of the council. So we just can't add places for it unless the rules are changed. So that's the short answer. We don't have any other place to put it.
That's a good answer.
Make you nervous?
No, I just, it's one of those things where I think sometimes, particularly if I was a member of the public that was trying to follow along, like for us, we get it, but if I was a member of the public,
Gotcha.
it might be harder for me to determine when action was going to be taken on.
Gotcha.
And Mr. Chairman, and on these, we are required by statute to advertise them and all of that sort of thing. So we want to make sure that the public understands that they are there and that they can be voted on at a certain time.
motion postponed.
Well, the motion is, let me clarify my motion, is to postpone until May the 23rd,
Second
2017.
that motion.
Wonderful.
Any discussion? Please vote.
Thank you.
And
The next is ordinance number 41. It levies a tax of 8 and 55/100ths mills per dollar on all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the bounds of the Downtown Development District of the City of Shreveport as defined by Louisiana Revised Statute 33:2740.38 for the year 2017 in the amounts and for the purposes described therein. This one also needs to be postponed until May the 23rd.
Second. Motion by Councilman Jenkins, second by Councilman Jerry Bowden Jr. Any discussion? Please vote. And motion carries.
Ordinance 42 levies various taxes totaling 17 and 29/100ths mills per dollar on all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the City of Shreveport, Louisiana, for the year 2017 in the amounts and for the purposes described herein. And this needs to be postponed until May the 23rd.
Postpone to May 23rd, 2017.
Second. Councilman Lee. Second by Councilman.
3017, as it says on here, but 2017.
Any discussion? Please vote. And motion carried.
Ordinance 43 provides for an increase in the millage rates whereby the city shall roll forward to millage rates not exceeding the maximum authorized rate and levying various taxes totaling 17 and 65/100ths mills per dollar on all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the City of Shreveport for the year 2017. This needs to be postponed until May the 23rd, 2017.
So moved. Second. Councilman Jerry Bowman Jr. Second by Councilman Bradford. Any discussion? Please vote.
This is just to postpone, not to vote for or against, right?
Right.
Can't raise no taxes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance 45 provides for an increase in the millage rates whereby the Shreveport Downtown Development Authority shall roll forward to millage rates not exceeding the maximum authorized rate and levying various taxes totaling 8 and 64/100ths mills per dollar on all property subject to ad valorem taxation within the bounds of the Downtown Development District of the City of Shreveport as defined by Louisiana Revised Statute 33:2740.38 for the year 2017 in the amounts and for the purposes described herein and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. It needs to be postponed until May the 23rd, 2017.
Motion by Councilman Everson, second by Councilman Jenkins. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion carried.
Ordinance 46 is an annexation ordinance. It was the subject of the prior public hearing. It enlarges the limits and bounds of the City of Shreveport for the Silver Point at Lakeside Unit Number 1 development in Section 27, Township 16 North, Range 13 West.
Second. Motion by Councilman Corbin, second by Councilman Bradford. Any discussion? Please vote. And motion carries.
Ordinance number 47 amends the 2017 budget for the MPC Special Revenue Fund, appropriating the funds authorized therein. There is one amendment, but there was also some discussion yesterday about postponing this. Mr. Chairman, do you want to postpone?
Yeah, motion to postpone.
Second. Motion to postpone by Councilman Everson, second by Councilman Bradford. Any discussion?
I'll just remind everybody in the discussion yesterday, Councilman Fleury had said that he had wanted to wait to debate his amendment, and there is no immediate need to pass the other initial legislation, so we said we would postpone the whole thing until the next meeting.
Right. Okay. Please vote. Motion.
Ordinance 48 provides for and establishes fees associated with the Unified Development Code.
Second.
And the point of discussion, if I could. Thank you, Chairman. Now, this one is one that we did talk about, and I know that I was able to provide some answers for some of the questions. However, I do regret that we need to move forward with something as quickly as we do, because I do think this bears some further review. And so I will say that while we need to go ahead and pass it so that we have something in place by the time the Unified Development goes into effect, I will be working on preparing an amendment to some of these fees because after some of the review, I think there is some adjustment that needs to be made, but and certainly would appreciate input from any other council members who may feel similarly. But for the time being, in order to remain consistent, we need to go ahead and move forward with something because the existing fee schedule is not referenced by the Unified Development Code. This new one is, so we need to have something in place.
So we can go back and
make amendments. Yes. So essentially, I'm asking you to support this today, and I'm also asking for your input into an amendment that I would offer at the next meeting.
Let me add, Mr. Chairman, as a member of the Master Plan Committee, Everson is our chairperson. The NPC, we had a good, I thought, open full discussion regarding these fees. And while they tried to explain and justify some of them, the chairman was very conscientious of what it was doing. And I support his attempt to go ahead and do this and then come back and modify some of those. And some of the questions that was raised wasn't fully answered, but at the same time it wasn't disrespectful for the citizens. Okay? So I support that also. Any other discussion?
One quick question.
Yeah.
These fees, and I think we talked about that, but these fees are only for city applications?
Yeah, correct.
So if it's an application in the parish,
Well, the
schedule.
The parish has not adopted a Unified Development Code, so they're under the same fee schedule that they have and under the same zoning code that they have.
But if they do adopt the UDC, they would still maintain the old fee schedule that they have?
Well, if they adopt it written as similarly as we do now, they are able to make amendments to theirs since we're not passing the same thing now. But if they do, they could reference the same fee schedule, or they could reference a new Unified Development Code fee schedule, which is what the version we passed did. And if they do that, they would need to either transfer their fee schedule, just call it. They just need to rename it to make sure it's saying the same thing. It doesn't mandate that they change their fees. That's up to them.
I got you. But so, in summary, this has zero bearing
on what they determine.
On what they do, regardless of whether they vote up or down on the UDC.
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that was discussed at some point, but I wasn't sure.
Yes, their decision is independent of this decision.
Okay. Thank you. Please vote.
Okay, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, we're now to ordinance 49, which is a zoning matter, C-29-17. It amends Chapter 106 of the Code by rezoning property located on the southeast corner of Watts Road in Linwood from B3 Community Business District to B3E Community Business Extended Use District, limited to automobile and truck body repair only.
Motion approved. Second. Motion by the chair, second by Councilman Brown. Any discussion? Please vote.
Watch out for those horses out there.
Motion carries.
Cars and horses.
Mr. Chairman, those are all of the matters on the regular agenda. I'm not aware of any matter on the table agenda to be removed from the table. If there are none, I'm not aware of any appeals. I think all of those were handled on yesterday. There are none for today. And we were down to reports from officers, boards, and committees.
Does any chairs have any reports on different committees you'd like to share today?
No, other than public safety. We had a great, I think we had a good meeting today and got some great topics out. I'm happy of the plan or the strategies that Chief Crump and the mayor have set forth. And I just want to say we had a good meeting today and look forward to seeing these
be pushed forward this week.
We're already ongoing.
We will have a meeting next month. I just had
You
to
should be, I want to check this.
He just happened to take, that was okay. But is there any consideration given to, has this been released in a press release, or can we put it on the webpage, or can we do some?
We're going to do a press conference and a press release. We just wanted to share that with the Public Safety Committee first, and then give you all a copy today.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Clerk's report.
Mr. Chairman, as soon as this meeting ends, there's been a notice, the chairman has called a special meeting. The special meeting is to go into executive session pursuant to LSARS 4216 and revised statute 4217A2 to discuss matters relative to the following: T. Scott Pernici et al. Versus City of Shreveport. So that will be as soon as this meeting ends. We would then, it would be in order to go into a special meeting.
Okay. Our rock star clerk.
I was going to say, is it an open mic night? Meeting tonight? What we got going on here?
Mr. Thompson, does that conclude your clerk's report?
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay. Any additional communications from the mayor?
None, thank you.
Any additional communications from the council members?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of acknowledgments. I want to again acknowledge and appreciate SPAR for providing the necessary equipment for our MLK Day, restored MLK in the park on Saturday. I want to express my appreciation again to the chief of police, as well as support officers who attended the Cherokee Park Forum on Crime on last Thursday, as well as the chairman. And I wanted to remind the chief or the administration, if they will, we will be having another community meeting on crime on Tuesday, May the 16th, at the Willow Ridge community area. It will be held in the clubhouse of Willow Ridge at 6:15 on May 16th, 6:15. At May 15th, I would appreciate mayor representation from the police department to be there also.
I'm sorry, say again.
The Willow Ridge community meeting on crime on Tuesday the 16th.
Yes.
Yeah, I was requesting again that the chief or his representation would be there.
Yes, and we have already, I think, responded that we plan to be there. The chief is not going to be there because he's going to be out of town, but I will be there, and so will his deputy chief.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any other council member? Councilman?
Yeah, see, I pressed the button.
I got you.
I'm trying to do it the right way.
You did.
I just want to publicly, and I've already talked with the CAO earlier about this today, but I just really need in some areas, a higher degree of accountability. I had a town hall meeting about a month ago. Some of my constituents brought a concern to the Public Works Department. The representatives there looked them dead in the eye, in the face, promised that this matter would be addressed, and here we are over a month later, and it still hadn't been done. And a note came to the office today that they had been calling for the last 2.5 weeks in addition to the month time period, and still had not gotten a response from Streets and Drainage. And so I just need, when people promise that they're going to do something, that they're going to take care of something, especially face-to-face, looking at a senior citizen and say that they're going to take care of it, that it gets done. And so I just, I just want to make sure that when a commitment is made like that, that it's kept. Okay. I had another incident today, which I think there may be some people here to talk about it, and I may make some comments after that. It's been a challenging day for me. It's been a challenging day, and I'm just concerned that in some aspects we're still treating different members of this community differently than we do other members of this community. And I had to hear today someone refer to where my constituents live as a rat hole. And then when they were confronted about it, they said, well, that's not what I said. I said it was a crap hole. And I'm not sure if that was much better. Okay? And, we say that we're here to serve, but then we, treat people differently than what we're professing. I saw it with my own eyes because I was there, not anything anybody called to tell me. So I heard it with my own ears, what the person said. And then I saw another person curse at my constituent like they were a dog. Charge at them and curse at them. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I don't think it's what, certainly, Mayor, I don't think it would be something that you would expect to happen. I certainly hope it's not something that Chief Crump expects to happen. And I know, you all may not have all the information right now, but, I'm standing there and I'm watching all of this unfold. Just watching it unfold. I did not, interfere. I didn't say anything. My father was a policeman, detective, and all of that. I understand protocol. And I understand, the job of an officer, the difficulty of that position. As I said, I'm a child of an officer, so I understand. I want my daddy to come home. I wanted my daddy to come home, just like other folks want their spouses or their parents to come home. So I understand. I understand the danger of the position. I understand the challenges that the officers, have every day. But I also understand the challenges and the dynamics of the communities of Shreveport, and certainly of the one that I represent. And so, just going forward, and I got the report today. This crime fighting strategies report, which I'm hoping will be shared, community-wide. Particularly this community-oriented policing aspect, I think is going to be the key in improving, those relations and setting the expectation that this department wants to be community-oriented, not just, in talking, but just in practice. So I'll be talking with you all some more about what happened today later, after you've had a chance to look at everything. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Maybe this will far right behind. So, Mr. Lester Smith. Mr. Lester Smith. State your name and address, please, for the record.
Lester Smith, 4148 Theo Street, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Sir.
Say good afternoon to this body, Mayor. I'm here because of the concern that the councilwoman spoke of earlier. I witnessed it also, and it seems it's a continuation of the same methodology of dealing with the people that live in that area. And to stand there and hear a lieutenant of the police department say that this is a high crime area, I agree, high crime area. It's a rat hole. And then when questioned, it's a crack hole. And because he had to run the young man down, out of his mouth these words came, that he deserved the beat down, to be beat down. We watched this kid leave from this area with his face looking worse than the young man that played in the movie Mask. But the paramedics, they took care of the police officer with a accusation of a broken hand. And this kid remained in a hot car with the engine off, with his face. We don't know whether his jaw broke, cheek broke, or what's broke on him, but I know he's disfigured. And he sit there in a car waiting on them to transport until they decide to move him. But they transported the police officer who claimed was his hand to get medical attention. And we don't know as of yet whether this young man had received medical attention or what. And they charged him with a misdemeanor, resisting an officer. And he's yet to be able to be bonded out. And we cannot, and I'm not going to encourage people to continue to allow this double standard. People say, well, you know, police officers need to be trained. Well, the same method they use to train white officers, they train black officers. You don't have to teach a black officer how to act when he get over in Spring Lake. You don't have to teach a white officer how to act when he get in Spring Lake and he's arresting some white person's child. And it should be the same way when they come to Moortown, the Illinois projects, or wherever. And we're tired of our children, our young men, at the hands of police officers who's sworn to serve and protect. We are the victim. And we're tired of this. And something needs to be done. I don't understand how we've had 2 African-American police chiefs. I'm not saying the playing field is not even. But I'm saying you just can't come in and say, well, this, that. No, keep it even, but address issues that you know exist. Because being a black man in America, you can't tell me that you don't understand the inequality and the disparity when it comes to arresting a black man and when it comes to arresting others. And to just sit here idly by and pretend all is well, it's not right. And people are getting tired. Not only are people getting tired, the victims are getting tired. And I think this administration, this police department, need to address how they deal with business when it comes to our people. Slavery time is over. People, and you cannot continue to come into the black community and accost our black boys and treat them any kind of way. The kid ran because of how the police officer approached him. What am I supposed to do, standing knowing you're going to beat the hell out of me? You come to me and say, I got your black so-and-so and so? You scared, that's fear, that's a fear factor right there. So we got to change this approach when it comes to dealing with our young men. And I think, and I'm bringing this to the mayor, chief, somebody need to tell this mother what's going on with her child. Because he's arrested for a misdemeanor. You don't have to sit in jail all day for a misdemeanor. You can bond out on a misdemeanor as soon as you're processed. They say it was drugs, but they only charge them with a misdemeanor. Now, how can you come to accost somebody for one thing and arrest them for something else? So now, we got to look at this, people. And I'm telling you, I got the ear of these young people. Anytime something go on, I got their ear. And I'm telling you, you may not believe it, but you got a bomb sitting in the midst of your city. You got a bomb sitting in the midst of your city. And the fuse is getting very short. Very short. So you better address some of these issues. Thank you.
Do we have someone that can speak to the mother?
I'm sure if she would call the chief, I'm sure that she will address it, and we'll do that right after this. Yeah.
Pastor Mays.
Pastor Mays, 1039 Buckham Road. I do concur with what my brother also has related to. There is a double standard in this city. There is a show out that called the haves and the have-nots. We elected people to represent us. And that's why we are encouraging the public to hold these individuals responsible that use excessive force. I stood before this council knowing that we are a majority African American population, and yet we have to come down and beg for certain stuff that others don't have to beg for. It's disheartening to me as a black pastor in this city, as someone that has spoken out on Elio Motors to the news people before all this other stuff came about. Well, I told them it was going to happen. This city has a problem, and it's going to take all of us to solve it. I talked to the chief right there a few minutes ago, whatever we can do to assist, but this city plays by a different set of rules. Whatever side of politics that you're on, you can get things done. See, I've been watching it for years. I watch certain people come down here, and it don't even have to be an agenda item, and that they ask for, they get it. But somebody like me that tells you about Elio Motors, tells you about that we need a disparity study, tell you about that we need police to have body cams on, tell you about some of the things that are erupting in the community. But when we really got some of these councilmen attention is when it started happening now in the gated community. And I tried to tell you the best way I could. I said, it's economics. Those communities, those impoverished communities, because I'm one of the pastors that actually have to talk to that young black man where others are afraid to go in. So you keep leaving me out. That's why they don't want to talk to them. So those of us who have been raised in that neighborhood, who knows these individuals, who knows what the problem is, those are the individuals who they're going to listen to. So the murder rate will continue, the crime rate will continue, what's going on in this city will continue. We offered our services, great meetings, but what we also have to get is the citizens of this city involved, because it's not, the earnest is not all on the chief, nor on the mayor, nor on the council. We got to hold some responsibilities for ourselves, but there is a double standard in this city. And when we elect you all to represent us, we expect people to come down here to be concerned about the citizens from which they represent. Every council person on this council should be concerned about Shreveport first, but that's not how it is. The politics of the day rules the game. I mean, I'm finna end, thank you, sweetie. But the politics of the day rule the game. And so you're going to continue to see this misconduct. You're going to continue to see citizens being thrown to the ground, head being stomped on. And the thing is, stop resisting, stop resisting. That's the new norm. Stop resisting, even though my head is in the ground, my hands are cuffed, I'm still resisting, but you have all the power. The police job is not a job of humanitarian. I said that here. Their job is to enforce the law that our state legislators in place. So it's going to take all of us to get this thing done. But to the public out there, the most important thing is that we got to hold people accountable for what they are not doing. And being a majority black city, I am disheartened to see that we have to beg still to just get lift stuff done for us when others can come down here, or ain't even got to come. They can call. And I guarantee you it's going to be done. So with that being said, thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. It's time for a change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Mr. Sammy Miller.
Standing here, 1901 Centenary Boulevard, Shreveport 71101. I want to talk today about the fact that I'm really very tired of people who like to just run over on Uri Drive like running red lights, and I've seen it going on so many times here in Shreveport and Bossier as well. People are just not paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing, and when they run these red lights, one right after another, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Whatever happened to the rule that says, be careful, consider, and obey the traffic laws? Has that been thrown out the window? Because I just wonder if it has or not. If it's been thrown away and tossed aside, I think it's just really dumb. It doesn't seem to exist. Maybe not to them, but it does exist. really does. Now, for those who say otherwise, I say that the red light cameras should have been brought, and hopefully, if they ever do get brought, that they'll teach these people who violate the law a lesson about that. If you ever do get them, and I really hope you will, it would really be appreciated, because people who like to run red lights would like to be ticketed just as well by a camera red light, but they think they're cute. And that can happen just as well. If you're big enough to run a red light, then you're big enough to be caught by a red light camera. Fair is fair. And it really applies even to the fact that maybe these two little bunnies wanted to get on the alligator's back to get across the river, and this dumb bunny got on the alligator's back and said, "Let's go, luggage lips." The alligator said, "Your mama." So he got off, and then the good one got on there and said, "You make a cool alligator." So he took him off to the other side of the river. Now that little rule applies. When the dumb bunny said, "Start swimming, fish face, let's go, luggage lips," and the alligator said, "Your mama," he bombed out. So you can imagine where I'm going with this. It does apply. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Councilman Bradford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know we're going to hurry on to our special meeting, but let me at least acknowledge and say that I'm disappointed to hear what I heard from the council in regards to action that was and behavior that was taken in her presence, as well as the citizens who expressed their displeasure with the actions also. I hope that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if inappropriate behavior comes to bear, then that person will be held accountable to what happened, because it's a reflection of the police department. We have a good police department. We cannot have rogue policemen doing things that are out of order, especially disrespectful to a council member whose presence was at the scene, or at a situation where they should be acknowledged and respected. But I also want to say, Mr. Chairman, and I think it's a part of the equation. We attended, Councilman Bowman and yourself and I attended the Non-Freeport Business Association meeting today, and Scott Martinez was the speaker, and he presented a very good report, but he did acknowledge that job creation in this area was not up to where he would expect, and that, and this is the key, and that the jobs that are becoming available in this area, in this region, are not blue-collar jobs, and that's what we are in need of most. I mean, a lot of our unemployment is associated with unskilled, not highly educated workforce, and that's contributing to some of our issues regarding crime. And I'm hoping, he has some suggestions that the administration, our economic development person, would continue to work strongly with Scott Martinez group to do whatever we can to create and find opportunities where we could employ some of our least educated citizens. So there is a correlation according to what's happening and the fact that the jobs that are not here is affecting the issues of poverty and unemployment and I think crime. So hopefully we can move forward in creating more opportunities for other people. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I just wanted to be just clarify that I did not identify myself as a council person when I was there. Okay. Because that's not why I was there. This all unfolded in front of me, basically. And so I don't interfere in police business, okay? Because they have a job to do. And so it just unfolded, and I was there. as it unfolded, is what I'm saying.
But you're not. You're not saying that behavior was still inappropriate?
I'm still saying it was not appropriate, but I did not identify myself
as a person, council person.
Correct.
Okay, I understand.
Correct.
Thank you for that clarification.
This meeting is adjourned. And now call to order the special meeting of the Shreveport City Council for the purpose of holding an executive session to discuss the following agenda item. We'll have the invocation now. Please stand with me, please. Almighty God, we give you praise and glory, and we thank you for this day. Lord, as we conclude coming to do our business with the city, we pray, God, that you will give us wisdom and knowledge. Bless this day as we go forward. Now, in Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Roll call, Madam Chair.
Present.
Here.
Mr. Jenkins?
Present.
Mr. Corbin?
Present.
Mr. Flurry?
Present.
Ms. Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Fuller?
Here. Public comments at this time? Seeing none, we'll adjourn to the back.
I'm sorry? Motion.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Motion to go.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, second by Councilman Jenkins, second by Councilman Bowman. Any discussion?
Hand vote.
Thank you.
Motion carried.
All right.
Hey, Jeff, did you respond to Chris Lyon?
Mr. Chairman. Oh. Mr. Chairman, Florida.
I mean, like,